looks like they're already getting started with the action.
We are currently with Andrew Mahone shuffling up. He has a Sudowoodo out, as well as it looks like a Buzzwole.
Yeah, so it looks like Parker Greenwald actually Ultra Balled, got the Tapu Lele, got Glade. Tapu Glade Wonder Tag for the Professor Sycamore.
Yes.
And now discarding the Glade, getting the fresh 7 cards.
Yes. And it's worth noting here that Andrew does have that Sudowoodo out, so Parker is roadblocked right now.
Yeah, but one good thing about roadblock is Unknown lets you kind of play around with your bench a little.
Just a bit. So we do see that Unknown going away for a Combee now.
Yeah, and now action is back on Andrew. His deck is pretty strong against Vespiquen just because all this low HP that's flying around. Vespiquen has 90 HP, EVs are weak to fighting, Zoros are weak to fighting, and yeah, here we go. Looking at Mahone's hand to his computer search, he just played a Lele for Wonder Tag, and we always talk about how Lele for Bridget is the classic play. Well, this deck doesn't actually play Bridget.
It doesn't play a lot of things that you would expect to see in a deck, honestly.
Yeah, he doesn't play a Bridget. He also plays 0 Versus Seeker. Oh man, why did he bring a standard deck to this expanded regionals? But he's playing, instead of just Versus Seekers with limited supporters, he's playing 4 Sycamore, 4 Guzma, 2 Colress.
Speaking of those 4 Guzma, we do see one hitting the field, it looks like.
Yeah, with that Wonder Tag, he gets the Guzma, and he will be able to take a knockout on an Eevee and place more damage on the bench as well.
Yes, and so, let's see, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't get like a strong energy to maybe knock out a Combee, but getting this Eevee out of the way means just a free prize.
It's a good prize, it's a good start for the prize trade. With Vespiquen, we have a lot of 1 prize attackers, so it's a lot harder sometimes for 2 prize attacking decks.
Yeah, and with this Jet Punch from Mahone, he does force Parker to evolve the Combee that has the 30 on it already.
Yep.
So with strong energies and different damage modifiers, he might be able to kind of knock this Vespiquen out with a Jet Punch later on and just kind of continue the Jet Punching.
Yes, he puts a lot of pressure on for this Vespiquen now.
But we do see a giant Sycamore from Parker, but did he just pass? No,
okay. We see the farewell letter going.
He's looking for the double colorless, and he's just going to keep spinning the wheel. Remember, like I said, he plays 31 Pokemon, and because of that, he's just getting all of them in the discard right now.
Yes. Which is the most opportune thing for Vespiquen because of its attack.
Be Revenge, dealing 20 plus 10 for every Pokemon in your discard, with just so many Pokemon now. Battle Compressor even, most likely pitching just 3 more, I would have to think. And he really needs to find that double colorless, but thankfully he Ultra Balled for that Shaman EX.
Yes. The Shaman EX can get fresh hand, so it just keeps going with this deck. It's insane to watch.
Oh, they actually have the dice out now. There's 11 Pokemon in the discard already, and it's turn 2.
Unreal.
Alright, shuffling up, and he does have that Shaman EX in his hand, remember, so he really needs this double colorless. Another Vespiquen hits the board. He already had one in his hand. He just didn't need it. He's trying to go for the full knockout. He got another Battle Compressor. So does he have the choice band?
Don't find out soon. Hey. See him looking through his deck, possibly getting 3 more Pokemon.
This is discard right here. He's counting his Pokemon.
Okay.
sure it's correct. It's 12 now. So right now he's doing 140 damage with Bee Revenge. Now remember, Buzzwole, as you see on your screen, has 190 HP. It's a big Ultra Beast. And so he's choosing, alright, I'm going to try to soften it up a little bit.
We're going to see the Sky return. We're going to bring in the Healthy Bee with no damage on it. Much safer for him right now. Since we do have a Buzzwole, it's just going to be punching. The 30 and 30.
Yeah, exactly. And Mahone is weighing his options. Does have that computer search in his hand. And he really needs to find something else. One thing in this matchup is he plays a 2-2 Lycanroc. And while its Bloodthirsty Eyes ability is amazing, it's a big liability thanks to its grass weakness. Vespiquen is already doing 140 damage. If you imagine hitting a Lycanroc that's weak to grass, it's just an instant knockout.
Exactly, that's a free 2 prizes for such a tiny little... That sting really hurts.
Oh no. Alright, so to see, I believe it was the computer search here.
Yes, he discarded it looks like to be a Choice Pen and an Ultra Ball for a Brooklet Hill.
Yeah, and like we were saying before, no Bridget means Brooklet Hill is the engine for this deck.
Exactly.
This is how you get Remoraid's out for your auxiliaries. This is how you get your other attackers. It gets everything in the deck except for Tapu Lele.
And since this isn't such a stadium-heavy format, it's actually pretty safe.
Yeah, and people have been cutting their field blowers too. So to have this Brooklet Hill stay, it just gives you so much advantage later on in the game.
Exactly. He could just keep refreshing his bench whenever something's knocked back out. I do see a Lucario-EX hit the field.
Yeah, another old card that's kind of making an appearance. You might think, well, why don't I play like Zygarde-EX or something like that? But it's weak to grass, and grass has been popular with Vespiquen, with Lycanroc-GX. Lucario's weak to Psychic, and other than the few surprise Grandpa Garbodors, there really hasn't been much Psychic attacking Pokemon, so it's pretty safe, and it does essentially the same thing as Zygarde.
Exactly.
And here we do see the N. Both players will shuffle in and draw to the number of their prize cards. Mahone, remember, only gets 5.
He only gets 5. That's correct. And Parker will get his 6. Hopefully getting a DCE so he can be revenge next turn.
Yeah, the one he had in his hand got shuffled away. Or the 2. Yeah, Sky Return.
That's right, he lost his Shaman. Do you see an Ultra Ball come down from Mahone?
And looking at Mahone's deck, you think with all this fighting Pokemon, Karina's the auto-inclusion, right?
I was very surprised that it's
There
not in
is
here.
0 Karina in Mahone's deck. And that just astonishes me, because it's such a good card.
It saw so much play back in the day when it was in Standard, even when Expanded first started.
Yeah, but he's like, no, I'm fine without it.
Exactly, but we do see another Buzzwole hit the field.
Yeah, and the Jet Punch dealing 30 and 30 to both Vespiquens. Remember that Vespiquen on the bench now only has 30 HP remaining.
It does. And we do see a Compressor as well as an unknown hit bench. So, safe to assume of his 31 Pokemon, that's probably what he's looking for right now.
Yeah, so like you said before, he is looking for that double colorless, and shuffled away both of them in his hand. And with this Battle Compressor, he has so many Pokemon in the discard. 15 right now.
We might have to get another spin down.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't think that was possible. Like, let's get a 30-sided dice here. Like,
should have brought my 100.
Yeah. And then even with Unknown, that's a virtual 16. And you see him retreating to the Vespiquen that has 60 on it. It's because you don't want to give up multiple knockouts.
Exactly.
You want to make them work for it. So bring up one that's most damage in the active. That way Jet Punch doesn't hurt you as much.
Exactly. You see, it looks like it's going to be 15 in the discard.
Well, yeah, he's playing the Rescue Stretcher right now.
Okay, so we're going to change it down to 14?
No, 15. It was 16.
Oh, it's 15, okay. We do see a knockout on that Buzzwole.
Yeah, and the B Revenge taking the knockout, and this is where the Buzzwole Lycanroc deck kind of has its weakness. So we don't see an Octillery in play, so later on in the game these ends will kind of slow it down, and if you don't draw into your max elixirs and hit them, you really struggle to power up multiple attackers.
We have not seen one this game, I don't
I
think.
know, right?
Which is very surprising considering he runs.
He runs
3.
4. Max elixir.
Max elixir. Okay, yes, he does run 4.
And with the 9 basic fighting as well, you're really, like, it's a good chance you're gonna hit him.
Yes. And on top of that, you're probably drawing it into your strong energies at some point, so you're going to have multiple attachments in a turn.
Yeah, and this is where, in Expanded, it kind of mitigates it a little. Carbink and Carbink Break, with its Diamond Gift attack, you're able to charge up your fighting Pokemon and even put strong energies onto it from the discard.
It's killer.
Yeah, the only thing is, its Safeguard ability, not so good with GXs in the format.
Yeah, it's a bit nerfed now, but it was really good back in the day.
I know, I actually did pretty well with Carbink. Alright, here we see a Colress from Mahone, drawing 8 brand new cards. Really looking for those max elixirs.
Does he hit one? You see he hit some energy. But
Energy? I don't... I didn't see anything in his hand much of all, just energy.
There are 2 energy I
A few
saw.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Brooklet Hill doesn't really need that. There is a Guzma, I believe. But
Like
you can't use that this turn.
Yeah. Those energy are great until they're just clogging up your hand. But we do see the Rescue Stretcher come into play.
Alright, puts the light... Or no, that's the Buzzwole.
Puts the Buzzwole back into his hand.
But again, that's not really what you want to see here, and he has no way to retreat either.
Right, that Sudowoodo is just stuck there, and you don't want
And
to...
he plays a high energy of Floatstone, too. Or high count of Floatstone.
Yes, but like I said, this is such a liability up here. Once he loses his lock, we have another Pokemon that can come down on Parker's side.
Yeah, exactly, and things are looking pretty good right now. The only thing that's worrying me is that damage on the 2 Vespiquens, but...
Once that Sudowoodo disappears, though, we can get that 3rd Combi out.
Yeah, exactly, and we do see a double colorless on the Flareon on the bench. So he does have some multiple attackers set up. Flareon's a little bit sturdier, although not by much.
It's a bit sturdier, but nothing in Andrew's deck is weak to fire, sadly.
Yeah.
We do see the end come into play. Hopefully Mahone would be able to draw some max elixirs off of this.
Yeah, he definitely needs it. He was trying to set up a turn where he can hit a strong energy on the Buzzwole, Guzma, and knock out both Vespiquen. But if he does that, it just fuel the Pokemon in Parker's discard to hit the one hit with Flareon.
Right.
There's the end. It looks like a few supporters in his hand, not much else. Meanwhile, Parker is sitting pretty.
I'm beginning to wonder if Andrew actually has a Remoraid or Octillery prized.
Well, he plays the 2 Remoraid, so that would be very unfortunate too.
Do see the knockout on that Sudowoodo, which opens Parker's bench to 5 now. Andrew Mahone has loaded up his Carbink, hopefully getting some energy back out of his discard if there's any in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so the great play here would be to Carbink Break, strong energy, take the knockout on the Vespiquen, and charge up your Buzzwole or Lucario. But seeing his hand, I'm not sure if he actually has access to it. Right now he's using Brooklet Hill, which this is also why I love Brooklet Hill. Being able to just search your deck every turn, no matter what, you're like, okay, I do have that prize. Like, oh, I have these resources in my deck. You
See
always
what's
can
left.
count. Yeah.
We do see a Rockruff hitting the field. And actually next turn we can see some Bloodthirsty Eyes.
Yeah, this is kind of the desperation, like, okay, I might need to do this. And there's the baiting attaching the fighting. With that fighting, he won't get the knockout on the Vespiquen if he draws Carbink Break.
Right. We do see the end. He's going deep for that Carbink Break, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He really needs it. Buzzwole, Jet Punch is good. It's very, very good, but it can only do so much.
Exactly, and if it doesn't have those strong energies to buff it up, it really doesn't do a lot, even to such fragile Pokemon.
And there's the N. Looking like he did not get much of anything.
Ugh. I see an energy in hand, but I do not see anything else.
Yeah, it looks like a few supporters that he can't play, and he might just have to pass or even just retreat.
Try again next turn.
Well, he can Jet Punch for the knockout, but it's just such a liability. You literally knock out the Vespiquen and put exactly enough Pokemon for him to take the knockout with Flareon.
And at that point, it's just game over.
Yeah, you have your opponent down to 1 prize, and there's not much else you can do.
Things are not looking good here. Let's see if we can bring this back.
And there he chooses just to pass. Doesn't want to put those Pokemon in the discard.
We see the second
Wow.
DCE.
Wow. All right, so 3 DCE in play. All of them charged up. Mahone does not run any Enhanced Hammer or anything like that to take away special energy. And Parker is now 1 EX or GX knockout away from taking game 1 and 1 step closer to day 2 at the largest regionals ever.
It is worth noting that Parker does only run 1 special charge, but with Mahone's list, it's not even really needed.
Yeah. You can play kind of like off the cuff and like, okay, I'll attach this here, attach this here, attach this here, I'll be good.
He's just sitting pretty right now.
And we did see Mahone bring up that Rockruff, kind of, maybe he goes for the corner play, traps someone active, I don't know.
Anything can happen in Pokemon.
He's really on the back foot here.
See the attachment to the badge.
Oh, I want to see corners so bad right now.
Mahone is honestly in the corner right now.
I think he's doing, yeah, Guzma or Choreo, and we're gonna see a corner from the Rockruff. So, this is the one bad thing about Parker attaching his DCEs. He has 1 left, and he needs to retreat. It looks like, though, he does have his 1 Guzma of his own, but no other outs to retreat this other than the energy.
Yeah. He has 1 Guzma, but he does run the 4 VS Seeker. So...
Oh, he can't even retreat with energy. He can Supernatural Dance. That's
about it. That's not going to really do much.
Oh man, this is exciting. It's kind of like the old, like, when you're playing Greninja and you have to bubble your
See
opponent.
a Lysander.
Ooh.
So we're bringing up a Buzzwole.
Alright, so this might not be that bad for Mahone because he really hasn't played any of his Float Stones. So if he has access to it, he can Float Stone and try to corner again.
Right, and he could Jet Punch because 1B is sitting at 60.
That is true, yeah. But if he does that, then he can just retreat, take the knockout, and be game over. I think he's all in on the corner plan. I always say you have to play to your outs. His out right now is, okay, Parker has a double colorless prize. I'm in a corner for the rest of the game. Double colorless Guzma prize. I'm in a corner for the rest of the game.
You see Ultra Ball here. Is he gonna Bloodthirsty Eyes, maybe?
But you already have the Oricorio active. You don't really... Oh no, okay. We could see a Bloodthirsty Eyes bring up someone, and then Guzma bring up the Rockruff. Oh my... No, he evolved the one. Never mind. It's not gonna happen.
But he does bring up the Tapu Lele thing.
Alright, this is another thing. He's like, okay, well, you didn't have the double colorless last turn to like try to attack or anything. Maybe you still don't have it. And I'll get a few Jet Punches in, kind of clear up your bench before I knock out your act.
Do see an N come into play here. So that's going to bring Parker down to 2 cards, while Mahone will have 5.
Yeah, and he really needs this Float Stone.
Absolutely does.
So this is good though. If Parker is, if he doesn't draw double colorless, Mahone could come back from this game. Remember, his Vespiquens are damaged, and if he just tries to take this a little bit slowly, he might be able to pull out a win. But does he have a Floatstone in his hand? I
I don't think he does.
I see a couple Max Elixirs. It was a little too late.
Bit too late on those. You do see attaching a strong energy here to the Buzzwole.
Oh, that's fine. All right.
It's all good.
Jet Punch, take a knockout on a Vespiquen, or no, just, okay. This is smart, just putting on another one, kind of limiting.
We're going to even it out because now he's forced. He has...
Compressor.
Yeah, see the compressor. We do see another B come down on Kobe.
Alright, I'm trying to like see when he's flipping through his deck if he has the double colorless in there.
It does not look like it. I don't think
I don't see it.
Really don't.
Is Guzma his only out?
Guzma is his only out, I think, right now.
Counting the Pokemon, yeah, I got like 20.
He's at 19 right now. We're not at 20 completely yet.
He can knock out.
He can knock out just about everything.
Yeah.
That's why he plays 31
and
Pokemon.
There is the pass. Okay, this is Mahone's time to shine.
He has to do it.
There's a choice band. So right now he's doing 70 damage to the active Tapu Lele with Jet Punch. So that'll put it at 120 with 50 left.
And it will knock out a B.
Yeah, it will knock out a B.
Does knock out a B. He could also go to the Flareon, so he could have damage on everything with a DC.
Unfortunately, though,
needs to take a B.
Yeah, in these 2 turns, he's only going to be able to take like these 4 prizes. He's going to be left with 1. We finally see him draw into a Floatstone.
Is it too late for that Floatstone?
Alright. Mahone really is doing all he can to try to make this comeback happen. And I'm loving
hard.
it. Yeah. And a Colors for 10 is just pretty good right now.
It's so good. One of my favorite cards in the expanded format right now.
I love it when you're playing like a Zoroark deck, against a Zoroark deck, and they play like the multiple eggs, like Skyfield multiple eggs. Like, okay, I'll Colors for like 16, and then I'll play my stadium.
Exactly. And then you have just a plethora of options in your hand.
Alright, so there's the Bloodthirsty Eyes bringing up the Oricorio.
Interesting.
Alright.
See an energy attachment to the Buzzwole on the bench.
Thanks to Max Elixir.
Exactly. Going from there, what is Andrew going to like have to do to pull this out?
So he's gonna have to play this kind of like shuffle game where he's gonna damage a few things in Parker's active, knock out a Combi or knock out someone, and then bring up someone else, damage it, and then knock out the Vespiquen again.
There goes the B.
And just keep doing this little switcheroo. And he has 4 Guzma. Remember, he plays 4 Guzma and 2 Lycanrocs. So he has the access to it. And it's just if Parker can draw double colorless.
Do you see a refreshed Vespiquen hit down?
Alright, so this is interesting. He does have the Maxis off like the end of 2, basically.
So we see one of his spicy tech cards, the Gallades.
Is that the double colorless in his hand?
Yes,
and
it is.
There we go. That has to be game, right?
It's game. You should retreat.
Yep.
Needs to retreat into the Flareon.
Oh, I think he was like, oh, that's your premonition. Yeah. No, that's the 5 I drew for Maxis. There's the retreat. Be revenge for a ton of damage. And
for 21 Pokemon in the discard pile, we had to switch to a Pip dice just to show it.
I just noticed that, yeah. Alright, so game 1 goes to Parker, where it's kind of dominating fashion until it's like, oh, I kind of overcommitted too much.
Yes.
And Mahone takes advantage.
I think that's an issue with Bees. You have to play it in a way that sometimes you have to overcommit, but you have to realize when that time is right, and I'm not sure it was the proper time. Mahone was so far behind that I don't think an overcommitment was necessary here.
Yeah, one of the problems I always had when I play Bees is I want to get that knockout, so I start discarding Pokemon. But then, like 5 turns later, I'm like, I really wish I didn't discard that Vespiquen.
You use so many resources just to get where you are, and then you realize, oh no, I needed all of this now that there are so many Pokemon that can hurt me on his bench.
Exactly, and luckily for Parker, he did have that last double colorless in his deck to treat the full game. And Mahone, he really needs to get a faster start.
He does.
He wants multiple energy in play.
His deck usually pops off really fast and just starts buzzing right away.
A lot of buzzing puns. But yeah, like, Max Elixir makes it so you can actually take one-hit knockouts on these Stage 1 Pokemons instead of softening them up turn by turn with Jet Punch.
Exactly.
And one of the main keys is getting that Brooklet Hill turn 1, being able to hit those Max Elixirs. So let's see if he's going to be able to do it.
See, we do have a Saw on Parker's side, E on the bench. So Home B and an EV start. And on the home side, we currently have Buzzwole. Mahone's hand at least has a Max Elixir, but that's not very helpful with anything right now since there's nothing on his bench.
Yeah, he's actually thinking about discarding 2 Ultra Ball.
Does have the Remoraid too.
Yeah, so Artillery is one thing he was missing last game. It just helps him dig through his deck faster.
Yes.
And
he's debating on possibly getting rid of it. See, he's debating on this Ultra Ball. He's unsure what to get rid of here. But it's looking like a Choice Band as well as a Remoraid.
yeah, there it is.
And he commits. See what he goes for.
So the one risk about this deck as well, it plays 1 Tapu Lele. If that's prized, it's heartbreaking for Mahone, especially since he discarded the Remoraid, but I think I see it in the corner
It's
right
there. It's the second to last card. So he does have that option. He's checking to see what he has prized.
So I think the better option for him is get an attacker. He has that Max Elixir. He still has an Ultra Ball in hand. So next turn, he can Ultra Ball Lele Sycamore.
Exactly.
There's no need to play a supporter right away.
The pacing for Buzzwole is very meticulous, where he doesn't need to like pop off right away. He does go for the Sudowoodo, which I think is an interesting choice.
Yeah, he kind of saw like, well, Vespiquen's a deck that plays Lele, Shaman, gets multiple attackers in play. So limiting their bench kind of hinders their whole game plan.
Especially when it's like multiple Shamans. He does run 2, and so having those multiple Shamans go off, you're getting things in your discard, and refreshing your hand only to put more in your discard. Popping off that Vespiquen to knock out anything by like turn 2 is really important.
And so he actually chose to Ultra Ball away, get Lele anyway, has the lone Max Elixir in hand, and undertags for the Sycamore.
Interesting.
Does he hit the Max Elixir? No!
Ooh.
Wow, so if he doesn't draw an energy to attach, it's kind of risky because he discarded the basic energy
Exactly.
to get the Lele.
He was trying for the strong, I think. He knew in the back of his head that that's what he should probably be going for because of that EV.
Exactly, and off the Sycamore,
There is another Max Elixir.
Max Elixir, a couple energy, no strong energy, so it's kind of a little disappointing, but
When we take
it's
this,
still a pretty strong hand.
you're still putting 30 on the active, 30 on the bench. That is nothing to sneeze at.
And remember, this is still Mahone's first turn. He's just done a bunch of stuff.
And we see a Max Elixir, it goes straight to the Sudowoodo.
That's interesting, because Sudowoodo's attack actually does 40 for 2, I believe.
Yep.
So with a strong energy, it does 60, which knocks out a lot of these small Pokemon.
Right.
And there we see the pass.
Yes.
It's up to Parker now to see what he can do for his first turn, and he starts it off pretty good. It's a pretty good card.
Maybe. I have a feeling we'll see 3 Pokemon go into the discard.
Maybe even like a Maxie's or something.
Possibly.
Depending how good his hand is.
Do you see the Gallade going? Which seems like a very safe play right now.
Yeah, that's also something with how good Parker's start was. He didn't get the Glade out until very late in the game. Premonition is one thing that helps him dig through his deck for the cards he was missing, like the double colors. And you actually see him throwing away the Zora. He's like, yeah, I'm not playing this card in this matchup.
We don't need that.
We don't need this at all.
We don't need that, but we do need this N, it looks like. And so Parker will be playing an N. Each player will refresh the 6 in their hand.
So this is actually pretty good for Mahone. His hand was like a little awkward. He really wants to find that Brooklet Hill.
It's exactly what he needs. That way he can start setting up that bench, just have a bunch of attackers that he can max elixir to.
Yeah, because max elixiring to a Sudowoodo, it's not what you want to do. You'd rather there be another Buzzwole, or even just a Lycanroc. It's still...
Or a Lucario, literally anything else at this point. We do see the Brooklet Hill finally. He's going to go search for a rock. We're fighting or a water Pokemon here. It looks like we're going for the Carbink.
Alright, Carbink. It's a card that has always been pretty good.
Special place in your heart,
yeah,
I think.
I love Carbink. I was testing it for this event, just trying to see if it was actually viable. Mahone's kind of found a niche for it, and it's been working out well for him.
You see an energy attachment of a basic energy to that Carbink.
One card I'm kind of missing from Mahone's list that I loved, but it was super gimmicky, was the Wide Lens.
Really?
Where you can hit for weakness on the bench, so you could Buzzwole Jet Punch, knock out a Zora active and a Zora on the bench. But when you're not playing Karina, it's not as good.
Yes.
Yeah. And there we see the knockout on the Eevee. Mahone goes down to 5.
Does promote Combi with no damage. Evolves the Combi with damage to Vespiquen. We see a Guzma bringing up a Tapu Lele and pass. Ooh.
Oh, this N was terrible for Parker. There's the Guzma. Does he have a strong energy to take the knockout on the Combi? Brooklet Hill. Always. You know,
do you see the Remoraid come out?
There we go, yeah. The benefit of playing 2 Remoraid instead of the 1/1 line.
Is does have the Octillery in hand for next turn.
Alright, Break Evolve with the Carbink. Is that a computer search in his hand? Yeah?
Possible, I think so.
He could computer search for
computer
the strong energy.
For the strong energy, I bet. Yep. Saw it right on the bottom of his deck, and he's like, that's mine. I need that.
Alright, we're cooking now. Buzzwole is going to get his time to shine. Jet Punch will do 50 damage, and putting the Vespiquen just 1 hit away from being knocked out. Parker's going to have to draw something.
Parker is in a corner right now. And there's not even a Rockruff out here.
I knew that was going to happen. I shouldn't have let it happen, but it did.
But we do see the Vespiquen brought up.
Oh!
We see a Sycamore.
He had to have drawn that from the top.
Desperation Sycamore right here because we are 10 damage away from game 3.
And there's only 5 Pokemon in the discard right now, I believe?
Yes, that is 5.
Well, no, there might be a little bit more with the Sycamore. But...
do you see an unknown down just in case we can't find... oh, we do have an Ultra Ball.
Alright, we might see a Shaman here to try to draw more cards. Remember, he already played his supporter, so a card like Tapu Lele wouldn't help.
Do you see the Shaman come down? We are going to see a setup for 5, it looks like.
5, maybe more, depending on what's in his hand. And remember, he could draw the nuts here. He could be like, Battle Compressor, Choice Band, double colorless.
Right.
Here's the setup.
Setup for 3. We did see another unknown, so we do have the option of 2 farewell letters.
Spin the wheel again. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Farewell letter. You get. We'll never know, but we do see another Pokemon go in discard. We do have another Ultra Ball coming down. We're gonna discard an Ultra Ball and an unknown. Will we be going for another Shaman possibly here? Does play 2.
I think you kind of have to.
Kind of have to.
Yeah.
He's digging deep here. it's his only choice.
And it's crazy that he Ultra Balled the unknown.
Oh, he goes for a B. I'm honestly not sure if I would have went with an Ultra Ball discard.
Well, it all depends what's left in his hand. If he has the double colors, he could put a little pressure on, but a pass here would hurt him so much. And the other Shaman could even be prized.
And we pass.
Oh,
so
no.
we go see the Octillery. Mahone has the Lucario in hand. This is not looking good for Parker. He only has 10 Pokemon in the discard right now. Mahone has a full bench. Strong energies, basic energies, so many energies.
And to be fair though, he still only has that Buzzwole charged up. He does have the energy on the Carbink break to charge up future attackers. That kind of takes off a turn, and if Parker gets the right sequencing of cards, he could definitely make a comeback.
But remember, we do have Jet Punch on Buzzwole-GX. It's going to knock out that Vespiquen. It will probably put 30 on that Combi, putting more pressure on Parker.
Yeah, unfortunately he didn't have the Guzma, which would have sealed up the game.
Oh my gosh.
Bringing up the Combi and knocking out the Combi and the Vespiquen.
Exactly. Such a shame, but at least we do get to see a little bit more of this deck. See if Floatstone go to the Buzzwole. Will he retreat? Looks like we might be powering up this Carbink break here.
Oh, we might see a Power Gem, I believe it's the tag name.
Yes.
40 damage, taking the knockout on the Vespiquen, and it's kind of a, well, you can knock this out, it's one prize, it's fine. And saving that Buzzwole, having Knuckle Impact if he chooses to next turn as well.
We do see a VS Seeker for the end. We're going to see an end from Parker. He's going to be able to draw 6. Andrew Mahone down to 3. Not too shabby there, because he does have the Octillery out. So
yeah, he's not worried about this end at all.
No.
Octillery is the main point of difference that Mahone has in this game compared to last game, because going later on in turns, you take these prizes, and they're going to try to end and disrupt you, try to knock out your one attacker, but when you just, yeah, I'll draw to 5 every turn, it's
this
fine.
Octopus, we're fine. All good.
And it looks like he is just conceding, did not draw what he needed off that end. And we have a tied up game now, 1-1.
This is for it all. This is for going to day 2 of the largest regionals.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line right here.
And it's such night and day from game 1 too.
Yes, where Andrew had to came from behind a little bit, but it was not
cornering for a couple turns or something like that, and just like hoping, like gotta hope. All right. Well, Parker was the one doing hoping now. Like, just don't have.
Sometimes hope is not enough.
All right. So it'll be interesting to see. Parker does get to go first, meaning if he does start an Eevee or Zor or something, it will be a very much liability.
Exactly. But we have seen him with his luck so far. But only time will tell when we get set up here.
Yep.
But I do have a good feeling this is going to be a fantastic match. Both of these players are fantastic. Andrew Mahone being Worlds player, Parker being here. Like, this is enough. Like, you're at the largest regionals. You're going through 1,041 players, 9 rounds. We started at 9 a.m. and it's 9 p.m. right now. 12 hours of Pokemon. Unreal.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's an endurance race anymore.
Yeah, you really, it just taxes your mind, especially playing decks that take so much math like Vespiquen, like Buzzwole, and it's really great to see these players doing so well.
See an Execute. He was debating on putting an Execute down on Parker's side.
Yeah, so he has the Oricorio in hand, I believe. Execute.
It was either an unknown or an Oricorio.
Oh, it might have been an
sure.
unknown, yeah. Oh, this is risky, because that's just a guaranteed prize. But
oh my gosh.
Sudowoodo start.
Sudowoodo. This is not the ideal start for either player, but we do see the unknown for the farewell letter. Hopefully Parker has top decked something fantastic.
I just hope Parker used the unknown when he had another like basic Pokemon in his hand, because he's trying to draw into like a Sycamore or something like that, but if he didn't, he has to pass. Okay, he has computer search.
We're good.
We're fine. Alright.
The world is not ending yet. I was worried for a second. Just like we said, it's an endurance race here. Sometimes things happen.
Exactly.
You just don't think.
Exactly.
Oh no. I'm out. But we do see a Combi come down with a DC, a Rescue Stretcher, bringing back that
Does he have the
unknown.
Maxis?
We
Okay,
have a
no.
Shaman. Don't get ahead of yourself here. He does have a DC in hand. He's already attached his return, so I do not think we'll be seeing a Maxis anytime soon.
No, he drew another DC as well. Farewell letter. His hand, though, that I think he drew off the Shaman isn't very good.
Does have another unknown.
Alright, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. And
That's
just a
it.
pass.
Oh no. Oh, okay, I'm just seeing like the worst possible scenario where Mahone goes strong energy, Buzzwole, Guzma up the Combi, take 2 knockouts. Does he have access to it? But that's the thing.
He has the Ultra Ball here.
Ultra Ball, I believe he has Tapu Lele in hand as well, but does he have the strong energy? That's the question.
Or a way to refresh anything in his hand. Then you couldn't Guzma. So let's see. He's going for... It looks like the Buzzwole.
Yeah, so he has everything but the strong energy. He has a regular fighting. So I don't know if you go greedy and do that route, because if he one attacks for the Guzma, his hand is nothing else.
Honestly, I'm not sure that would be the play. At this point, you know how Parker's deck goes off. He should probably be playing a bit more conservative than trying to pop off.
It'll be interesting to see what option he chooses, but this is the power of Buzzwole being able to just make easy knockouts on these low HP Pokemon. Like, almost like I guess it's a pretty good thing to say that half the decks this weekend were playing Execute.
Exactly. I can get you back in this. So we do see a Sycamore off that Wonder Tag instead of the Guzma. I think this is a far safer play for Mahone.
Oh, for sure. I like it a lot. He has a Max Elixir in hand as well, so
Which we do see played.
if he hits the basic fighting, which he does, he can threaten a Knuckle Impact next turn, and if Parker has only like 1 attack in play, that's very risky.
So we're going to see that Sycamore come down soon. He does have another energy in hand.
I'm trying to remember if Sudowoodo had this 1 or 2 retreat. I believe it only has 1, yeah. 2.
So we're going to see an attached tap. Oh, nope. It's playing with us.
Alright, and he chooses not to attach that Choice Band, kind of valuing Floatstone a little bit more. And does he hit the Floatstone?
No, but he did hit a Remoraid, which we do see come to the bench.
No, he did hit the Floatstone as
There
well!
we go!
So he will be able to Jet Punch this turn, take a knockout if he chooses. Here's another Max Elixir.
See, does he hit it?
No. These Max Elixirs have not been favorable for Mahone. I think he's had 1 out of the 3
He
games.
plays 9 energy and so unfavorable.
He just usually draws all the energy first and then plays Max Elixir.
Isn't that how it always works, though? So we are going to see a knockout on this Execute.
Jet Punch putting pressure on that Combi, forcing Parker to evolve or waste that double colorless energy, and he reached for the Shaman.
He's debating on roading, but he ends up going with the Combi with the damage. We do see an Eevee come down, but will we see the Vespiquen?
This is an important turn.
We see a Guzma for the
Oh
Remoraid.
no!
We're
I
bringing
don't
up the
think
Shaman.
he has it! He needs the Vespiquen.
Absolutely needs it right now. But it looks like... Okay, we have a DCE at least, so we will see some damage. Oh, he did not?
Well, yeah, he has to pass, because if he Sky Returns,
That's right.
that means, oh, I'm going to bring up Eevee, and he's going to knock out both Pokemon I lose.
True.
Oh, no. Here's the Ultra Ball, most likely getting Octillery.
See the Octillery come down.
Oh, this is all Mahone right now.
Can he do it?
So,
See a Colress in hand, a strong energy.
his hand's very good. He has to try to draw a Guzma in these 3 cards.
Actually had 2 strong energies in hand for being so dry on those earlier in games. So we see Lucario come down. This bench is just getting fuller and fuller.
Yeah, unfortunately he did not have Guzma to try to take the double knockout on the 2 attackers. He will still be able to take a knockout if he draws Floatstone, and he does!
Did! Oh my gosh.
And Mahone is getting exactly what he needs right now.
He is sitting pretty.
And he has a computer search in his hand for next turn.
So we're going to see a Jet Punch, possibly? Or does have his
It's
2
only 2
energy?
energy,
Yes.
so yeah, Jet Punch, but thanks to the Choice Band and the Strong Energy, it does 60 damage to the Shaman. So taking the knockout on the Combi, Parker's really on the back foot now.
As we see his Flareon come down. It's a DCE, so we at least have something. But is it going to be enough? Can he make the comeback here?
Well, he had nothing last turn, and depending on what he drew, he might have nothing this turn as well. If he chooses to Sky Return and save the Shaman. Oh,
No. He propagates back
I like
to the
this
bench.
play, because that way you bring up the Execute.
Yep.
Save the Flareon, because he could just Knuckle Impact, and you're like, oh no.
Oh no, there it goes. But yes, you will. It's
But
a
unfortunately
cheeky...
for him, Guzma bringing up the
Oh.
Flareon, we will see the Knuckle Impact anyway. Parker will be left with an Execute on the field, and just a Shaman and double Colorless in hand with a few other cards.
Someone dropped the eggs. See another strong energy come down. This is one buff Buzzwole.
He's pretty swole. Get it because it's a swollen Pokemon.
Out.
Alright, there's a Brooklet Hill.
Oh,
Probably get a Rock Ruff, I mean cover your basis a little bit.
right in that corner, maybe?
Yeah, I mean why not? Corner or Execute. What are you gonna do?
We do see the Rock Ruff come down. The bench is so full of energy, full of Pokemon. Andrew treats his Octillery into the Buzzwole. And it looks like
And I think we see
we see Flareon damage.
either
and
Knuckle Impact or Absorption GX. I like Absorption GX, but it's
it's not Absorption
being a bagger,
GX,
yeah.
since we did not see a GX counter flip. But we do see a Combi come down with a DC. All is not lost on Parker's side yet. These are very good at coming back.
oh, it wasn't even that. It was just did he knock it out with the Jet Punch?
But we do see a Shaman come down for a setup. So his bench is slowly filling back up here. We see a Zorua, which is not what you really want to see in this matchup, but desperate times call for desperate measures. We see another Eevee come down and a Battle Compressor.
Yeah, but is it too little, too late for Parker here?
Like I said, bees are very resilient, just like the ones outside.
I don't know, they're going extinct, aren't they?
They're actually on a comeback now.
Oh!
Cheer.
Alright.
Good news for bee lovers.
And flowers everywhere.
But we
Alright.
do see 3 Pokemon, it looks like. Gallade, Oricorio, and not too sure on that last card in the middle.
Might be a Guzma or something like that. Maybe.
Do see the giant dice change to 7.
Alright.
So,
And unfortunately, he
see.
doesn't have the knockout on the
does
Buzzwole.
not.
And as I said before,
There's the
Mahone
computer
had the
surge.
computer search. He didn't use it last turn. He had everything in his hand. So
Yes.
now computer search. I'll just get a Lycanroc. It's fine.
Bloodthirsty eyes that Vespiquen right up.
But it depends what attack he used. I don't think he used Knuckle Impact because it was probably the worst attack to use because you'd have to retreat this Buzzwole.
Right. So we're gonna see
Abyssal Hand John too.
Yes.
An Ultra Ball. Seeing what he has left playing.
Yep.
Alright.
Looks like he's getting another Bloodthirsty Eye Lycanroc out.
Just kind of thinning your deck out. Like,
Yeah, because it looks like he's gonna Sycamore, and he does. So we see Andrew refresh his hand to 7. We see his strong energy, basic energy. Basic energy goes down to the Lycanroc. And a Float Stone onto the Lucario.
And there we see the Jet Punch for the double knockout.
Andrew Mahone down to one prize until he makes day 2.
Alright, it's not looking very good for Parker right here. He does have the Flareon and the double colorless. Trades away an unknown. He has
Pokemon, we have
he
to see if
definitely has enough to take the knockout, but all Mahone needs is an energy for a dangerous Rogue-GX.
Yeah. And there he goes. He'll seal it up. If he can do it. Let's see. We are at 11 Pokemon in Parker's discard.
Alright, and I think this will be the fastest attachment.
Let's see.
Energy, dangerous Rogue-GX. That is game. Andrew Mahone makes it to day 2 of Dallas Regionals 2018, the largest regionals in Pokemon TCG history.
1,041 players today in the Masters Division, and he made